Welcome back, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into the life and legacy
Yeah.
of Angie Stone,
Oh,
who
yeah.
very sadly died this week at 63.
Mm.
You might know her from songs like No More Rain in This Cloud, but
Right.
she did so much more than just that one song.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, we're talking hip-hop with the sequence back in the 70s,
Oh.
R&B success with Vertical Hold,
Mm-hmm.
your huge solo career acting in movies,
Yeah.
and Broadway. She even had a #1 song on the Billboard gospel charts just last year.
Wow.
Like, there's a lot to talk about.
It's amazing.
So let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, let's get started.
All right, so we should start with the sad news.
Yeah.
Angie Stone passed away on March 1st in a van crash, according to the article. Remembering Angie Stone, the black diamond of soul music.
That's so sad.
It's a really heartbreaking loss, but
Yeah.
today we want to focus on the incredible impact she had
Yeah.
on the world.
Yeah.
And her story starts way back in the late 70s
Mm-hmm.
with the sequence. One of the first all-female
Oh,
hip hop groups that,
wow.
really gained some traction.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I mean, their song Funk You Up was such a cultural moment.
For sure.
It wasn't just like a catchy song. It was like,
It was huge.
it was really important. Like, imagine being a young woman in that era,
Right.
seeing yourself on the charts in a genre that's dominated by men, that's powerful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So powerful. And then she switches gears again. She joins the R&B group Vertical Hold in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
Their single, Seems You've Changed,
Yeah.
really showed off her vocal skills in a whole new way.
Oh, for sure.
But for me, things get really interesting when she starts her solo career.
Okay, yeah.
Her debut album, Black Diamond, went gold.
Wow.
I mean, that means it wasn't just, the critics who liked it.
Right.
It connected with a huge audience.
Right. It was the people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then from that album, No More Rain in This Cloud
Oh, yeah.
became, an instant classic.
Such a good song.
What do you think is so fascinating about that song?
I mean, it's how it balances like vulnerability with strength.
Mhm.
You hear that rawness of heartbreak in those lines like, there's no hiding place when someone has hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
But then it changes to hope, like, my sunshine has come and I'm all cried out.
Yeah. I love how those lyrics just paint such vivid pictures.
Yeah.
Spring has come and winter's gone.
Mhm.
It's such a simple image,
Yeah.
but it really captures that feeling of like
Yeah.
moving on from those tough times
Right.
and becoming even stronger.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt that way? Like
Well,
you're
yeah.
caught between wanting to move on but still feeling that hurt?
For sure.
I feel like that song just captures it perfectly.
Absolutely. And it's not just the words, it's her voice.
Yeah.
You can hear like the pain, but also the determination.
Yes.
Like she won't let heartbreak define her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that resonates with a lot of people, that ability to find strength when you're struggling.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And this was just the beginning of her career.
Yeah.
She went on to release a bunch more albums.
Yeah.
And each one was a little different,
Uh-huh.
reflecting how she grew as an artist.
Yeah.
The Art of Love and War even hit #1
Yeah.
on the R&B charts,
Wow.
which shows that she could achieve mainstream success
Yeah.
without changing her style.
Right. Yeah. And she wasn't afraid to go beyond music.
Right.
She started acting.
Yeah.
She was in the comedy The Hot Chick and then on
Mhm.
Broadway in Chicago, which is super intense.
Mm-hmm.
And she even did some more serious roles.
It's amazing when you think about how much she did.
Yeah.
It's like she had this, never-ending creative energy,
Mm-hmm.
and she was always looking for new ways to express herself.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder, what would she have done next?
I know. I wonder that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does make you wonder what she would have done next.
It really does.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about the lyrics, specifically in Mahogany Soul. That album came out in 2001.
Yeah.
It's not as well known as Black Diamond, but
Right.
I think it shows like a different side of her, artistry.
Oh, yeah. Mahogany Soul is so interesting. It feels like more personal.
More intimate.
Yeah, intimate than some of her other work.
Yeah.
And like the title itself just makes you think about all these deep emotions.
For sure.
She's letting you into her creative process.
Yeah, and the song Brotha on that album is
Yeah.
a perfect example.
Yeah.
It's about unrequited love,
Right.
but it's not like a typical heartbreak song.
Right.
The line, I'm just your sister trying to help you.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that feeling of wanting to be there for someone, even though you know it might not be romantic.
Yeah.
It's so complex, and
Hmm.
she's just so honest about it.
Yeah. And the way she sings it,
Mm-hmm.
so raw and captivating. It's
Right.
like she's not hiding anything, just being totally real.
And I think that's why Mahogany Soul is so powerful. It just feels so personal.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you're really listening to her thoughts.
It's like you're in her head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an album that you got to really pay attention to.
Absolutely.
There's just so much depth to it
Yeah.
in the lyrics, in the music, in her voice. It's not just background noise,
Right.
you know?
It makes you think.
And then a few years later,
Uh-huh.
she releases Stone Love,
Oh, okay.
another album about love, but like
Yeah.
with a different feel.
Oh, yeah. Stone Love has that classic soul sound, like those lush arrangements, and, you know,
It makes you want to move,
it makes you want to move.
for sure.
But it still has that emotional depth
Yeah, for sure.
that we expect from Angie Stone.
Exactly. The song I Want to Thank Ya.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
It's such a feel-good song.
it is.
Yeah.
It's about being grateful,
Mm-hmm.
appreciating things,
Yeah.
finding joy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how she balances that with a song like U-Haul,
Right.
which is like,
You know, a sad song about heartbreak
it's heartbreaking.
and not being able to let go.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's what she does best. Like
Yeah.
that mix of happy and sad,
Yeah.
joy and sorrow.
It's like life, you know?
It is. It's like she's saying, yeah, life's messy,
Mm-hmm.
but we can get through it and, find some good stuff along the way.
I think that honesty, that realness
Mm-hmm.
makes her music connect with people.
Totally.
She wasn't trying to be perfect.
Right.
She was just being herself.
Yeah. And people related to that.
Yeah, they felt like they knew her.
Yeah.
So we've talked about her music, her acting, her willingness to always try new things.
Yeah.
But I think there's another important part of her legacy,
Okay.
her role as a mentor and role model.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was known for helping younger artists,
Yeah.
giving advice and support to those starting out.
Mm-hmm.
She knew how hard the music industry could be.
Yeah.
And she wanted to help.
She really wanted to make it easier for them.
Exactly.
I read an interview where this young artist
Yeah.
called Angie Stone, like a mother figure
Wow.
in the industry,
Yeah.
she said Angie Stone always gave her advice, listened to her,
Uh-huh.
and supported her work.
Wow. That's amazing.
And I've heard that from a lot of other artists, too.
It shows you what a good person she was.
Yeah.
So generous.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to see others succeed.
Yeah, she was happy for their success.
Yeah, she wasn't threatened by new talent.
Right.
She welcomed it.
That's a beautiful legacy to leave behind.
It is.
To be remembered not just for your own work,
Mm-hmm.
but for how you helped others.
Exactly.
And she also used her platform
Yeah.
to fight for social justice,
Right.
to speak out against inequality,
Yeah.
and to empower marginalized communities.
That's so important.
She wasn't afraid to use her voice to make a difference.
Yeah. We need more of that.
I agree.
Artists who stand up for what they believe in.
Mm-hmm. Even when it's hard.
Absolutely.
Well-
She knew that her platform
Yeah.
gave her a chance to speak out and encourage change.
And she used it.
She did, and she did it so well.
She did it with such grace.
Yeah.
She wasn't telling people what to think.
Right.
She was just sharing her perspective
Yeah.
and encouraging people to talk about it.
I think that's the best way to make a change.
I agree.
By talking and sharing experiences.
So we've talked about her music,
Mhm.
her mentorship, her activism.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that Angie Stone was a complex artist
Absolutely.
with a really powerful legacy.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up part 2 of this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to talk about her influence on soul music.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, she really shaped the sound of soul,
For sure.
especially neo soul.
Right.
That blend of classic soul with R&B, hip hop, and jazz.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just about the sounds, though.
Right.
It was about the emotions.
Yeah, that rawness and honesty.
Like honesty.
It was so new and so moving.
Yeah, and she wasn't afraid to be vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
to talk about love and heartbreak,
Yeah.
and to bring up social and political issues.
And that connected with people.
It did.
And it opened the door for other artists to
Look,
do the same.
You can hear her influence
Oh, yeah.
in so many artists today.
Totally.
Erykah Badu D'Angelo,
Mm-hmm.
Lauryn Hill, Jill Scott.
Yeah.
She created a space for soul music to grow
Yeah.
and change
To embrace new sounds.
while still being true to its roots.
Exactly.
And she did it all with her
Yeah.
own unique style.
Angie was a true original.
Yeah.
And her impact on soul music will last forever.
Now, as we get ready for the last part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want you to think about Angie Stone's legacy,
Mm-hmm.
but in a bigger way.
Okay.
It's not just about the music or acting.
Right.
It's about how she lived,
Mhm.
her values,
Yeah.
and how she affected the people around her.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
It's about being real,
Mm-hmm.
being strong, being creative,
Yeah.
and wanting to make the world better.
And those are things we can all strive for, no
Absolutely.
matter what we do in life.
For sure.
So as we move on to part 3,
Okay.
let's remember those ideas
Mhm.
and see how Angie Stone's life
Yeah.
can inspire us to live better,
Right.
be more creative,
Mhm.
and make a positive impact on the world.
I love that. You know, when I think about Angie Stone's journey, it's amazing how much she did,
He really is.
but also how she handled, all the ups and downs of her career.
Right.
There were the hit albums, the awards,
Yeah.
but also times when maybe she wasn't as popular,
Right.
but she never seemed to lose that love for creating.
Right. She could have just stuck with what worked,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
kept making the same kind of music.
right. Just play it safe.
But she always wanted to try new things,
Mm-hmm.
even going into gospel later on.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Shows you how much she loved making music.
It really does.
It reminds me of what we were saying earlier
Oh,
about finding that sunshine after the rain.
right.
Her career had its ups and downs,
For sure.
but she always found a way to bring back that light.
Like in No More Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Spring has come and winter's gone.
Exactly.
She had huge success,
Yeah.
but also personal problems and people criticizing her.
It's tough,
It is.
but she always came out stronger.
Yeah, with a new sense of purpose.
And that's something we can all learn from.
Oh, absolutely.
Life throws you curveballs.
Mhm.
Your career goes up and down.
Yeah.
But you got to keep going, keep creating, keep growing.
That's what Angie did.
Yeah. And her success wasn't just talent.
Right.
It was hard work, too.
Yeah, yeah. The music industry is rough.
It was so rough.
But she made it for decades,
Yeah.
always changing and adapting.
And speaking of adapting,
Yeah.
let's talk about her acting.
Okay.
She could just focused on music,
Easy to do.
but she wanted to express herself in new ways.
Right.
Some people might think, oh, she was in The Hot Chick. But I think it shows how fearless she was.
Right.
She wasn't afraid to try new things.
She didn't take herself too seriously.
Exactly.
And then she's on Broadway in Chicago.
Wow.
That takes serious skill.
Yeah, it's a whole different world.
It is.
It's like she was always learning new things.
Always growing.
And she didn't keep it all to herself.
Right.
We talked about her being a mentor,
Yeah, she really helped other artists.
especially women.
She wanted to give back.
And that's something we should all do.
Absolutely.
It makes her passing even sadder.
It does.
But as we wrap up, I want us to think about what her life teaches us,
Okay.
about what we leave behind. You know,
Our legacy.
yeah,
I think there's the obvious stuff, the music, the shows, the art she made.
right.
That'll always be there.
Inspiring people.
Yeah.
But there's also the impact she had on people, the artists she mentored,
Yeah.
the fans who loved her music.
That's what really matters.
Yeah, it spreads out in ways we can't even imagine.
It's a ripple effect.
And for me, the big takeaway is that it's not just about what you achieve.
It's about how you live.
Exactly. Angie Stone lived with passion and honesty, and she was dedicated to her work,
Yeah.
but she was also kind and generous.
And she wanted to help people.
Yeah, and that's something we should all try to do.
Absolutely.
So as we end this deep dive into Angie Stone's amazing life,
Yeah.
let's remember her story. Let's remember that even when things are tough,
Yeah.
we can choose to live with passion,
Yeah.
to create with joy, and to leave behind something that matters.
That touches other people's lives.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us.